Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Fietta. Welcome to today's app overview. Today, we're going to be talking about the Caring4Dementia app, and here's what it looks like. For today's video, I'm actually going to be exploring the app on my MacBook because now with the M1 chip, I'm able to look at iPhone and tablet apps on here. This way I can record the video with my phone. So you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing a little easier since you'll have the cursor showing you where I am on the app. So right off the bat, one of the things I'll start off telling you is that if you use an iPhone or other iOS systems, so Apple products, I would use the app in light mode and avoid dark mode. Now, normally I prefer dark mode, but let me show you what the app looks like with both options. So here's light mode and then here's dark mode. So this app starts with a survey and they let you know right off the bat that the survey's information or the data that it's collecting will be used for research purposes by the University of Manitoba. So if you saw our last video about participating in research and you're interested in maybe finding ways of doing that, this app could actually be a great way to start. So you just put your information in, a bit of demographic information about you, the caregiver, and then it will go through 2 short surveys and ask you a bit about yourself, the things that you're facing or dealing with, and then maybe a bit about your support systems. Once you complete those surveys, then you are in the app. So this app has a pretty straightforward design. Even if you're not used to apps, you may find this one pretty usable because there just aren't that many options aside from choosing the type of scenario that you want to explore. And you see a few of these listed here on the screen, 5 under resistance, 8 under caregiver stress, and then you can continue scrolling through the app. They have quite a few scenarios available. Once you choose a scenario, so I'll choose taking medication here, you'll be given a setting and a situation. So it tells you about the time, the place, who's involved, and then the situation here. And then you just touch start. So the app provides kind of an interactive discussion with a hypothetical loved one with dementia. The discussion is set up as though you're texting and you see that here, but you could also easily imagine carrying out these conversations in person. So after a bit of back and forth, you'll have the option to choose between 2 responses, and you see those at the bottom of the screen here. One of these responses is more preferable, and then the other one will have a more negative outcome in the situation. And so you have the option of trying either one. So if you choose one that is less preferable, then it'll let the scenario play out and then give you a bit of feedback on why this may not have been the best response in that situation. So you see this feedback here in green, and they make it nice and clear that this is feedback and not part of the scenario by changing the color here. So if that should happen and you learn that this isn't the best response, you can touch try again to try the other response and see how this more preferable response works out better in the situation that they've created here. And then you get this positive feedback that you see here on the side. And so you can continue through those scenarios. You see new responses coming up through there. If you saw the app overview on Dementia Advisor, this app follows a similar theme. So if you checked out that app, you may want to look at this one as well and see which situations in this app you could learn from that maybe weren't touched on in the other. So once you finish a scenario, then you'll see these check marks pop up so that you can keep track of the different situations that you've worked through as you progress through the app. As you can see, there's quite a few options here. A lot of these situations are things that many of us deal with on a daily basis, things like repetitive questions. And then there are also some situations that you can work through that have some greater safety ramifications, like wandering and preventing wandering. Or up at the top, you can try when it's time to stop driving. That's always a tricky one. I appreciate that the app has a large section on caregiver stress. Here you'll find scenarios on things like burnout, finding help, helping family understand the caregiver burden, asking for help when you need it, things that can be difficult. And so it can be really nice and really helpful to be able to rehearse these situations prior to dealing with them in real life. Caring for a loved one with dementia is complex and it's ever changing. And many of us have come to realize that there's no real how-to book. But apps like Caring4Dementia can provide you a few more tools in your toolbox as you approach these more complex situations. Okay, time for a disclaimer. I am not affiliated with the research study being done through this app in any way. And this video is not intended to persuade you to participate. I'm just trying to give you some information. As always, this is not intended to be medical advice or recommendation. I'm not that kind of doctor. Thanks for watching today's video. I'd love to hear more about how you use apps in your own caregiving situation. If you'd like to connect with me, provide feedback on anything we've said, please feel free to comment on this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow. The Caring4Dementia app was developed by the College of Rehabilitation Sciences, University of Manitoba, as a project in partnership with Tactile Robotics.